Alright, so this bed was all grass last year, and I started making an area for gardens and flowers, and also because we didn't want to mow right up next to the trees anymore, which is very painful to have to try to maneuver around. And we're using a nice big riding mower, so I want it to be a lot easier to run the mower around, and besides it just looks prettier to have plants. So I have used a method here of laying down the bags that the mulch came in. Just for the first season, you just lay the bag down on top of the dirt. I've tried to get the weeds out, but I don't really have to get too much of it out. And then it blocks the weeds. And then this season, I'll pull that plastic out of there and get rid of it. And the mulch won't be full of weeds, and we'll have killed off the weeds. And I might move the plastic over there to do that section next. And then I'll plant nice things here instead of all these thorny brambles, which are painful to get stuck in, which I have sometimes. But I still want something that blocks our view because the road is out there. Not just the view, but the sound. I don't want to hear all the cars. There's not too many cars on our road, but this is a forsythia that I planted here. And one day, I know it's really close to the edge, but that's because one day we're going to extend this garden out in this direction, where we're going to have a fence. We're going to fence in the backyard, and it'll be connected to the corner of the house brick right there. So this will all be a garden area along the fence, and hopefully it'll be a pretty fence, nice looking one, but mostly it's going to be behind a row of tall plants, so you won't even see the fence. But that way we can have our full orchard protected, and we can have our grandchildren running around inside this whole area and be inside the fence, and we can let them run around and not worry about them getting anywhere near the road. And this area will be hidden as well, all these septic risers. So this bed is going to go around this tree. I'm almost done getting all the grass out of there. It's going to continue probably to get a little wider around these trees. This is a spot where we had to dig up some yellow jackets last season. That was not fun. I'm hoping that they go make their nests in the woods, not in the yard. This is a huge pine tree. We love decorating with Christmas lights when we have the energy, which is also why this ladder is out here. We never put away from last year when we were putting lights on the Christmas tree, on the pine tree out here. So one day this whole bed, I was thinking of putting lilac bushes in here because I just love the smell of them. And they'll be a little farther away from the house because they probably like to attract a lot of bees. I have a butterfly bush over here that's doing okay, but it's kind of, I don't know, I thought it liked shade, but it's just beginning to green up this year. So, I don't know, we'll see if it survives. And then I will continue this bed around this electrical pole, so we won't have to weed whack the grass around that anymore. This will all be a garden, and then I'll plant things so that we won't be staring at an electrical box and an electrical pole. Shallow root things that won't disturb any wires, but it doesn't need to be very tall to hide that. And then we have an old tree stump here, which kind of is intriguing to me. Thought it might be fun to see if I could carve it into a figure of some sort. But we are also on a curve of a road, and we have these signs that warn people they need to turn because there have been cars that have run off the road and fallen right into the neighbor's field. It's a little scary, but it has happened. It happened one time since we've been here already in these 2 years, and she's said that it's happened several times before, so won't be doing too much over here that could get lost by getting run over. But I'll definitely be mulching this whole area out so I won't have to deal with grass. Then along here I have started a flower garden. And this is the very, very, very first thing I did when we first moved in, because we have in our front yard these extended septic system boxes, and they are a huge ugly eyesore in the front of our house. This is the front of our house, and I want something to draw your attention away from those. So I've started with this bed, and since I started in the front, I only planted real low growing things, but as I extend it, I'm going to be making it bigger and bigger and bigger each year until I get big enough that I can plant some really tall things, or tall enough that it'll hide the view of these septic boxes, but not hide the view of our beautiful house. I think I can manage it. It won't even have to be all that tall, but I definitely want to make it get a lot bigger. I just don't really enjoy grass very much. I like to have a little bit of lawn for the kids to run around in, but they don't need to be running around here up near the road, so I might be making it bigger that way as well. So in here, I just last season planted this iris. I don't remember what color they're going to be, but I know I had some yellow and I had some lavender. And then this one is mums, and I think they're a white color. There's the fall growth that I'll be chopping off soon, but I'm just leaving it there until all the cold, the last of the cold nights is done, so they can be a frost protection. But you can see the new green growth is coming in there. And then these, I believe, are purple asters. I think that's what they are. I have to go back and look at my tags. And this is a knockout rose. I'm really so pleased with the growth that is happening on that plant. And then this here, I'm really hoping, I put some straw in it to try to help protect it in the winter, but I haven't seen any new green growth on it. And it's a gardenia, which may or may not be able to overwinter in the state of Virginia. So we'll see if that made it or not. Then over here, we've got some daffodils and some hyacinth and some weeds. And I planted these bulbs, but you can barely tell them until you get up real close. They have a nice flower. But I think they might need to be moved because they don't really add a whole lot to this garden since you see it from far away, not up close. We'll see. So this spring I will be making this bed larger, and I will be planting some fall bulbs because all of these are spring bulbs. So I want some things that are going to be blooming in the fall as well. And I'm going to be moving some plants that were under my deck, some sedum, which are also blooming near the fall, but they have gorgeous green growth in the summertime. I am a little worried that the deer will try to eat them, so I'm only going to move one to begin with and see how it does. This here, as we come upon it, is our cherry. I think it's a Cuba, I think is what it's called. A very decorative cherry tree. Very broad growth. Might get as wide as 20 feet and as tall as 30 feet, I think is what it said. So that'll produce a lot of shade once it gets full grown. So I'm going to be making I'm going to connect this mulch area to the mulch under the tree and make a full garden. I just want to fill it up with flowering and evergreen plants. And over here is probably going to be a video for another day because my battery's getting low and the video is probably getting long. But this is a wooded property right next door to ours that we bought. And we have been slowly working on getting all of the invasive things out of these woods. And there's so much wild grapevine, morning glory, I think is what it is. No, I'm not sure, but there's all kinds of vining weeds that they grow up into the trees and pull the trees tops down and actually break the trees in half and kill them. It's amazing how strong they are. So we've been working on getting all that out of there and saving what we can. This huge pine tree was just covered in vines when we first came here, and I pulled as many as I could out of them. I think I got the majority of them out. You can see some big dead areas in the tree that hopefully will recover at some point. I also have a wild climbing rose here, which I actually enjoy quite a bit. So I want to keep it, but I need to get the most upper climbing branches of the rose out of that pine tree and find a different way to get it to climb. So I can save it because it has the most gorgeous little pink roses in the late spring, early summer. So I really want to keep that. So this here is our redbud. We have 2 of them that line our driveway. And we've cut some of the lower branches off of so we can get the mower under it, and it also helps for extra parking. When we have company or when we have things like this trailer full of horse manure that we bring home and we're not quite ready to deal with, we end up parking it here. And then we've cleared out some space in the woods for some of the things we need to hide. Our RV camper and our work truck and wood chipper, all kinds of things we've put out there. I just got some plants from my sister so that I can put some beautiful fast growing plants out there that are not invasive but can still hide the view of things we're not interested in looking at. My car parked out here. It's windy, but it's sunny and beautiful out here, and I love it. It's my husband's project car in the driveway that he'll be working on sometime soon. And the progress of our chicken coop walls we're in the middle of building. We'll be getting that done this week. And here are the plants that my sister just gave me. Got some hosta, some, I forgot what that's called. Yeah, I don't know. But it grows really big and well in the shade. And some bluebells. That's exciting. Some more hosta, some daffodils. So that's nice. She's moving and can't take them with her, so I am the lucky beneficiary.